O'Neill, a Boston-based partner in MoFo's privacy and data security practice. Today I'm going to talk about what it means under the CCPA to sell personal information. The definition of sell is important because it's central to one of the individual rights that the CCPA provides, the right of an individual to opt out of the sale of his or her personal information. But the definition of sell is much broader than it sounds. Sell means the disclosure of personal information to a third party or another business for monetary or other valuable consideration. The first part of the definition is straightforward. If a business exchanges personal information for payment, then it's engaged in a sale and it must give individuals the right to opt out. The second part isn't so clear. What does it mean to exchange personal information for other non-monetary consideration? This can take a number of forms. For example, if you give your customer list to another business in exchange for its customer list, then there's probably a sale because you are receiving consideration, that is the other business's customer list, in exchange for your customer's personal information. So there's likely a sale and you likely have to give your customers the right to opt out of it. Another example is where a consumer goods company gives a retailer personal information of its customers in exchange for preferential product placement in a physical or online store. Generally speaking, pure service provider arrangements should not involve a sale and should thus not trigger the Act's opt-out requirement. That's because when you provide personal information to a service provider, it's so that the service provider can use the information to provide a service to you. You're not giving the service provider the information in exchange for consideration. Rather, you're giving it to the service provider in order that it's able to provide the contracted for service. That analysis could change, though, if the service provider is permitted to use the information for its own purposes and pays you in exchange for that right. For instance, if, in addition to providing services to you, the service provider is able to use the information to enhance its own database for its own purposes, and it pays you or gives you a discount in exchange for that right, then there's probably a sale under the CCPA and you would have to give your customers the right to opt out. I mentioned that the CCPA gives individuals the right to opt out of the sale of their personal information. With respect to individuals 16 and under, the right is an opt-in right, though, not an opt-out. We discussed that in our video specific to the CCPA's treatment of children. Please watch that video and the other videos in our CCPA series.